What is going on, guys? So in tonight's podcast or a video, I want to talk about or give you guys an update on life after the Golf R. Now, for those who are new to the channel, my name is Ricky. I owned the Golf R for the past 5 years, and just recently we parted ways. My last video, I sold my car to CarMax, and it's been quite sad. Now my daily driver is my father's car right now. Usually my nightly routine is to, just put the girls down and go ahead and dump the garbage, etc. And I'll usually go to the back and just check up on the R. It was kind of straight into holidays. I didn't really register or have the information digest that the car is gone. So it was one night I was heading back to the car and to kind of just check up on it and realize midway, wait, it's gone. So it's been weird, but I want to go ahead and just talk about the next plans, what we are going to get. It was originally going to be a surprise unveiling, but thinking about it, some people, current subscribers, are used to us having a hot hatch, right? Mark 7 material. It's just going to be really disappointing. Just go ahead and unveil a minivan. So there you go. We are going for a minivan. There's so many factors that placed us into the minivan decision, but I just kind of want to breeze through them and kind of just break down why we decided to go for that versus a 3-row SUV. But there you go. It's a minivan. It is something that has been in the works since the fall of 2022. Now, going back, I did go ahead and mention that we were on the wait list for a RAV4 Prime since April of 2022, so spring. But since then, the Inflation Reduction Act has been signed into law, so the 7500 is no longer applicable for any car that is not built in the US, so that makes the Japanese bred RAV4 Prime not eligible. So if it's a hybrid, it's a different situation, but the 7500, we decided to kind of, since we're not getting that anymore, move to the Sienna waitlist. Now the Sienna waitlist is even longer. So who knew that a minivan was at that hot of a commodity? But the Sienna is pretty hot, and that was a year estimate if you want to get the car at MSRP. Our line was for the XSE, and from there, our car is coming sooner than we thought. And that's why I was kind of like in a pinch to go ahead and sell the car, sell my R before the prices drop in the new year. Now, fast forward to 2023, the car has been allocated. It's in production, been produced, and I believe, based on the Toyota Tracker right now, it's in freight, so it's going to be headed towards the dealership, and we are going to be getting it within the next few weeks. So in terms of excitement level, no, it's not going to be an exciting car. If I'm feeling like I want to go for a drive, no, this is not the car that I will be like, hey, let's go for a drive, and I'll hop in the minivan. But it's a exciting phase in a different way, meaning that I'm excited for adventures with my family. I'm excited for the space involved. I'm excited for just the overall ease in terms of outings. Now, talking about outings, back in spring of 2022, back in summer 2022, we learned a few lessons of why a minivan would be the perfect vehicle for us. Why did we go for a Sienna? Well, the other options, let's say the Kia Carnival and the Chrysler Pacifica, I don't think in terms of reliability, I don't think I could place a lot of trust into that. I just want to be able to go ahead and stick with the tried and true, the Japanese bred ones, which is the Odyssey and the Sienna. We also want an all-wheel drive, so that kind of cuts the competition into one choice, which is the top leading choice, which is the Sienna. And also, we wanted gas efficiency. So in terms of that really left us with one choice, which is the Sienna. Now, if it was Sienna versus the Odyssey and both of them had all-wheel drive, I would go ahead and skip out on the possibly the new Sienna hybrid and stick with a Odyssey with all-wheel drive if that was available, because of the tried and true 3.5. That engine sounds pretty good for a minivan, so I think I would go ahead and give that up for gas efficiency, right? So the sound of it, as silly as it sounds, but yes. So here we are, Sienna minivan, XSE trim, and we're getting it pretty soon. So that is that in terms of where we are right now. Moving on to our second half of it, I know we talked about our criteria for a minivan and why we wanted it, but let's go ahead and talk about the flip side, which is EV news. Now, I want to talk about Tesla for a minute. Why am I bringing it up? Well, the past few days, Tesla has made news by dropping their Model Y a whopping 13,000 from its original MSRP of 65,000. Now it's at 52,990 at the time of this recording. So that's pretty significant in terms of a price drop. Now, on top of that, it's also eligible now for a 7,500 tax credit. Now, that's something, again, that we missed out on for the RAV4, so this makes it very tempting. Now, the minivan and the Tesla Model Y is going to be costing around the same. So basically, we're getting tax credit if we're going to consider a Model Y. Going back to the 2020 days where my friend invited me to pick up his Model Y, short story, I think that the Model Y has gotten better and better every year. And Tesla has gone ahead and made significant changes. Now, is it worth the 12,000 over in the past 2.5 years? I don't believe so. Based on my reading, they included acoustic glass, they included a heated steering wheel, a new AMD chip to make the center tablet faster or better responsive. They included a privacy cover for the rear hatch. Now, overall, they also took out a few things, meaning that they discontinued the front sensors. So all the 2023 models or the late 2022 models do not have sensors front and rear. And the existing Tesla Model Ys with the ultrasonic sensors, they're actually deactivated by software. So that's kind of interesting and that's kind of weird to kind of think about. But when you saying that, I think that Tesla will continue to get better and better over the years, and especially if they are able to go ahead and include software over the air updates, then that's kind of like having a phone on wheels, right? So that's kind of having a Apple iPhone that's going to be consistent with updates for the next couple of years, and that's what makes Tesla very interesting. Now, our main drawback with the Tesla will be the sloping roofline in the second row, where my friend mentioned that it's going to go ahead and be difficult to fit your children in when you're taking them out of car seats. But in terms of rear cargo space, what they lack for in kind of like a sloping roofline is the under storage, the hidden storage under it, because they have nothing. It's going to be a battery electric vehicle, so basically they have a ton of storage in the rear and also the front. Now, what also makes it kind of like a drawback for us is the fact that it doesn't have a third row, or we could go for the 7-seater, but quite honestly, I don't trust putting the girls back in the third seat, because that third row seat, the 2-seater, is just enough for toddlers or just small children. And I honestly don't think, based on my reading, it's before the crumple zone. I wouldn't put anybody in there for a long period, like any type of trip, to be honest. So if it was going to be the Model Y, it will have to be the 5-seater. And going forward, I think the Model Y is also something that we can consider, because supposedly there are plans for superchargers around our area as well. So that kind of solves all our battery charging issues, especially since we're at a complex right now. So that kind of makes it very enticing. Now, the thing is, with the current cars that we're driving right now, it's very interesting in terms of tech, but not as software based, or not like a leap forward from my previous car. So if I go for a Sienna, it's actually going to be very dated in terms of infotainment, in terms of just like safety features. It's nice to have the Safety Sense 2.0, like adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, but that's all basic for many cars right now. Now, if I were to go for Tesla, it's kind of like the car for the internet age. You could have Sentry mode, you could have your app, especially for iPhone, I assume, really well app integration. You could check on your car without installing dash cameras, because it's all included with the all 360 cameras. It doesn't have a 360 camera, but I believe that Tesla could go ahead and integrate this via software. Now you could for the Sienna, you could go ahead and install your front dash camera and the rear dash camera all you want, but it doesn't have side view like the Tesla does. Now I think just a small story, another short story. My friend, when I picked it up, his Model Y did not have the blind spot monitoring from Tesla initially, but through a patch he was able to go ahead and have that included without buying a whole new car. So I think Tesla is cool in terms of that, and that $7,500 tax credit along with the price decrease actually makes the Tesla Model Y very competitive to other cars in its segment, not even just battery electric vehicles, but internal combustion vehicles. That makes it a really compelling deal. So all in all, that is our not so quick update. Again, apologies for the lengthy video, but for those who are checking in with me, we're good. The R is no longer here. I'm all right. But for those who are new to the channel, what do you guys think? Should we go ahead and consider a Model Y or stick with our Toyota allocation, especially since this is a hard to get vehicle? We've been putting a lot of work into searching for our Sienna at MSRP. And at the time of this recording, Siennas are still going for a pretty significant markup, even though used car prices are going down. And I think new car prices are kind of steadily returning back to its original state, and possibly even lower than MSRP in 2023. But that is it for you guys. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.